What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there, waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya, complicate ya.
So, the last few games that me and my wife been playing have been more abstract than thematic.
I told Dwayne I want to play a game where we can get immersed in the theme.
So, I was like, all right. So, I went and got the Big Daddy. Today, we're going to talk about viticulture.
Viticulture is a game designed by Jamie Stagmeyer and published by Stonemaier Games.
Let's go to the table for a quick overview of how this game is played. Viticulture is a game for 1 to 6 players where the players take on the role of winemakers, competing to create the best wines in the world. To set up the game, we would take this beautiful player board and place it in the center of the table in reach of all players. Then we would take these 4 stack of cards, shuffle them up, and place them in their designated spots on the board. You have your vine cards, you have your summer visitor cards, you have your wine order cards, and you have your winter visitor cards. Then each player would choose a player color and would take the rooster of their color and place it above this chart to the left of the board. They would take these wine corks of their color, place it on the start spot on the score tracker, and then they would take these wine tokens of their color, place them in the center of the circle to the right of the board. Then each player is going to get their own vineyard mat, and they're going to get 3 field cards, and they're going to place them at the top of their board. And these are the fields that they can grow their grapevines on. They're going to get the buildings and the workers of their chosen color, place it in their play area. And then we're going to randomly choose a starting player, and they're going to get this first player token. The starting player will then draw a mama card and a papa card, and that's going to show what you start the game off with. So the mama card, Mama Naja, the mamas are always going to give you 2 regular workers, and you place them in your available worker space, and then she's going to give you some cards. So we drew those cards and got them ready. The Papa card, Papa Matthew, is going to give you money and the boss of the workers, the grande worker. So you place the grande worker, you're going to get $1. And then you have a choice. Let's see, you can get either build a windmill in your playmat or get $5. So, $1 ain't a lot to start off with, so we opt for the $5. Place that on our player board. So each round in viticulture is referred to as a year, and the year is broken down into 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. In the spring, starting with the first player, the players would take their rooster token and place it on this track, and that would determine the turn order for that year. So let's say this green rooster decides to go here, and this purple rooster goes here. Now, even though the green player has the first player token, the purple rooster is higher up, so they will be placing their workers first for this year. Now, depending on where you go on this track, you will get a particular bonus. But so let's say this green rooster decided to go here. That means they would be the first player, but they will get nothing in return. But if this rooster decides to go down here, they will get an extra worker for that year, which is actually pretty cool, but that will be at the expense of being the last person to place your workers onto the board. Once the spring is over, then we would go into the summer, and that's when we start placing our workers. All the yellow circles is where all the workers go in the summertime. And when you're placing your workers, you also have to take in consideration that at the beginning of the year, you only had 3 workers, including your grande worker. So, and you only have those workers for that year. So if you end up placing 2 of your workers out in the summer, you only have 1 left to place out in the wintertime. Now let's take a closer look. So in a 1 to 2 player game, only this first spot will be open. 3 to 4 player game, you will have both of these spots. And a 5 to 6 player game, you have all 3 open. Now, let's say in a 3 to 6 player game, if you're the first person to place your worker in a spot, you can go into any one of these circles. And of course, you probably want to go in the middle one because that will give you extra bonus. So, like if I went here, I would get a victory point. If I went here, I would get an extra $1. So, the spots you can go to in the summer is you can draw a vine card. You can give a tour to get some money. You can pay to build a structure onto your player mat. You can go plant a vine, which is pretty much what everybody's going to want to do. Now, one thing I want to mention is, let's say I sent my worker here in a 2-player game. Now that's blocked for all the regular workers. But if the other player has their grande worker, who's the boss, he can still go there. So you just place him right there in the field, and he's able to do that action also. When constructing a building onto my player mat, I will pay the cost of that building, returning the money to the supply, and then I will place that building onto my player mat. So here, I need to pay $3 to place this irrigation tower. So I paid the $3, I placed that there. To plant a vine, I would choose any one of my fields and plant the vine there. Now, I could plant this vine, but as you can see, this one has a requirement. I had to have the irrigation tower built, which I just did. So I can plant this vine in any one of my fields as long as the value of the grapes that's being planted there doesn't go over the value on that field. So I planted a 3. I can only place another 3 here, or 2 and a 1 or whatever. This is value 7. This is value 5. So let's say on a future turn, I planted this vine. I placed that here. Now I got the maximum value of grapevines in this field. Also, at any time that I'm hard up for cash, I could sell one of my fields and get that money. So if I sold this field, I would get $7 and then flip this over. And of course, I can't plant any vines there because it's sold. It's not mine anymore. But I can go back and buy it for the same price that I sold it. Once everyone has passed in the summer, then we would go to the fall. And the fall is simply you're able to draw a summertime visitor card or winter visitor card. Now, summer and winter visitor cards can give you special benefits through the game. But you can only play summer visitor cards during the summer at that spot, and you play winter visitor cards during the winter. So a summer visitor card, let's take a look at this one. This one says gain $2 for each empty field you own, or gain a victory point for each planted field you own. And you will discard that. Or here's a winter one. Gain $3 and draw 1 wine order card, or make up to 3 wines. A crush expert. That's actually really cool. And we discard that. But like I said, you only play those during summer and winter. Now, once we're done drawing those cards, you could draw from either one. You go over into the winter. And the winter are these blue circles on the board. So, like I said, you got your make up to 2 wine tokens. You could harvest 1 field. You could draw a wine order card. You can train another worker for $4. You can fill a wine order. So, and that's pretty cool. Remember, if you still got that grande worker, use them for the best of his ability. To harvest one of your fields, you would just pick one of your fields that has vines in it. So, of course, it's just this one. And you would take, like, you got a level 3 white grapevine, level 3 red grapevine, and you would just convert those into grapes in your crush pad. So, I got that level 3. You use these clear tokens, and I got a level 3 white. Now, to make wine, I would just simply take That same level 3, put it over here, level 3 white wine, level 3 red wine. I could combine those two to make a blush, but I don't have the cellar space to place it in. But let's say that's what I decided to do. Another thing I could do is fill a wine order. So if you see this, I can fill this wine order if I have a level 3 red wine and a level 3 white wine. I have that. So I would take this, discard it, or remove it from my board, fill this order. That would give me 3 victory points, and then it would give me residual money at the end of each year. So for now on, at the end of each year, I would get $1. Then I would discard this card. Once we have placed all our workers or decided to pass with our winter phase, then we would go into year end. And pretty much there's a handy dandy chart that tells you what to do through the whole game. So year end, we would age all the grape tokens and the wine tokens in on our vineyard mat. So the grape tokens will just go, let's say I had those level 3 still, they would go up to a 4. The wine tokens, they were level 3, but I couldn't take them to a level 4 because I didn't have the appropriate cellar built. We would retrieve our workers. We would collect residual payment. So remember, now I get a residual payment of 1 coin at the end of each round. Then we would discard down to 7 cards, and then we would rotate first player counterclockwise. And then we would start another year doing the exact same thing. And that's pretty much this game. I didn't go over everything because, like I said, this is just a brief overview. But all we're doing is we're giving tours, we're planting vines, we're harvesting our vines, putting grapes in the crush pad, making wines, filling wine orders, getting money, getting victory points. And then the first player who gets to 20, we will finish that round, and whoever has the most points is the winner of viticulture. So before I talk about viticulture, I have to mention something. So one of the reasons why I love Everdale so much is it introduced my wife to a variety of board game mechanics, worker placement being one of them. Viticulture is the essence of a worker placement game. So without further ado, let's go right into it. So, what did you think about the theme?
I love the theme. Even though we don't drink wine, I still think the wine making process is an interesting theme, and I love the way the game immerses you in that whole process. You have to go through all the steps from planting the grapes to harvesting them to bottling them and selling them. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I figured you would like this because you said you wanted to play thematic.
Yes.
This is thematic.
Yes.
I mean, I like the fact that, before you take your turns and start placing your workers, you got to place your rooster out. So that rooster's getting you up in the morning, but you got to decide how early that rooster's going to get you up.
Yes.
So I love the theme of this game. So let's go into the components.
Where do I begin? I really love the little translucent half balls hemispheres.
Hemispheres?
Hemispheres.
Okay. You had to go there, didn't you?
I had to. I really love those. They're just so pretty.
Yeah, I like the fact that, you put the hemispheres onto your board to represent your grapes, and then you move it over to represent your wine. And I love that part of the game. But what I do love mostly is the structures.
I like the structures. There's a variety of them, and they have a nice little amount of detail in them.
Yeah, I love the structures are all different, and your workers and your little rooster. You got your little wine bottle that represents your residual payment. That's really cool.
And I even like, at least the colors we played with. I love that wine colored.
Oh yeah, you play with the wine color.
Yeah.
I play with the green, so
Yeah.
that represents the
The vineries.
the foliage.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
I know some words.
Yes. Yes. So yes, I really like the components.
Yeah, the components are great. So let's go into the art.
Oh my goodness, the art is gorgeous. It it makes me think of a painting. Um, it's I just love the subdued colors, and I love the way it just evokes the whole sense of the lushness of a winery.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say it was very beautiful, but I can't even top that. So, yeah, it does bring you in.
Yes, it does.
All right. Well, what do you think about the mechanics?
Well, as you mentioned, um, worker placement is the main mechanic, and I love worker placement. I love worker placement.
I love worker placement because you are in control of what you're doing.
Yes.
You're making the choices.
Yes.
And if you win a game, like a worker placement game, you feel like you've accomplished something.
Yes, because it's not based on the roll of the die. And there's some randomness in the cards, but it really is the choices you made.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, I love that. But you know what I like most about worker placement?
No, do tell.
Okay. So, being that someone's worked in the kitchen, I end up managing people.
Yes.
And so, in viticulture, there's no suggestion box. There is no bathroom breaks. There's no vacation time. There's no back talk. No smoke breaks. You just go do that. Go do what you're supposed to do. And then, like, if an area's blocked out, they be like, hey, somebody's already over there. Well, go over there then. Just get it done. And, so I like that.
I hadn't thought of it like that, but I can see your point.
Yeah, I love worker placement.
I can see your point.
All right, what do you think about the teach?
So, this is not an entry level game.
Okay.
This is a next level game. It's like you said, once you have learned a game like Everdale, this is a game like if you want something a little heavier, a little deeper, what's next?
Right.
So this is a what's next type of game.
Yeah, it's real. The theme is relaxing.
Yes.
You can find yourself like, if I was to drink wine, this would be when I drink wine. Get a charcuterie board. Have some crackers and whatever, and put on some nice music.
Yes.
And just play this game.
Yes.
So it has a romanticism to it.
It does. You can set a whole mood to play this game.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so as a whole, what did you think about viticulture?
Okay, so viticulture is that deal.
I'm really happy that you liked it that much.
I like this game.
Yeah, I definitely, because I do enjoy playing this game. It's just really fun. Like I said, it's relaxing.
It is.
And this is a game you definitely have to have in your collection. So, if you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And like I said, viticulture, we love it. I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
And this has been Blackboard Gaming. We will see you next time.